Hi, I'd like to order a medium number 6 with a Coke and a small curly fry.
What number?
A 6.
What kind of drink?
A Coke.
What kind of fries?
A small curly fry.
What number? Live from the LeClaire Studios in Bellevue, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 laid-back friends who are 2,800 miles away from Kevin Smith's comic book shop in Red Bank, New Jersey. Welcome to the Spacecast.
Is this where we pause?
Yeah.
That's us. Spacecast.
Hey, you changed. It's no longer the LeClaire Manor.
Yeah, well, I got so
Came
much
back down
flack.
to
Well,
earth.
listen, hey,
You got some flack for last episode?
welcome back to the Podworms Spacecast, episode 36. And yes, I got some flack. The LeClaire Manor maybe a little bit too highfalutin for what
a
this
little
place
too
really is.
bougie.
Did you
for
get
this
some
podcast.
emails about that?
Yeah, we got some mail, and we got some
Female?
some complaints. Yeah, we got some female as well. Thank you, Kevin. We're all about inclusion here. And so now we're LeClaire Studios, which I think is okay. And we didn't address in the last episode, but we're not recording the Base Room Studio because we don't even have the Base Room Studios inhabitant, Chase Golka.
Proprietor.
Yeah, proprietor.
I like inhabitant.
But I'll tell you who we do have. We got the Core 4.
Oh,
The Core 4.
Core 4.
Core 4. Core 4. Core 4. Is that a workout regimen?
Are you guys saying chloroform?
Chloroform.
Yeah.
We have
Chloroform.
Chloroform. Chloroform. Chloroform.
we have the deadly brother, Kevin McCoy.
And to the Deadly Brother, welcome!
Hey!
You know, I'm thinking, before we get to the others, what if we just had an open casting call for the second deadly brother? Because frankly, it's been, I think, 4 episodes now that we haven't had both of the deadly brothers present.
At this point, yeah,
What have you like put out a missing persons like bulletin for him yet?
Yeah.
I just disowned him.
Oh, okay.
Word on the street was Andrew was so pissed that Mike usurped his title as leader of the podcast that he just had him killed.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Did you
that.
hire a
I remember
hitman?
Well, not killed, but circumcised.
Just silenced.
Yes.
Circumcised, then silenced.
Silenced sexually.
We have our local historian, Peter Fries,
Hey.
and we have his little buddy, Jim Charters.
That's me. He's so historian.
It's in there, so I'm happy. I'm just going to be happy
The
with
funny
it.
thing is that
I'm happy with it.
on our
Glad it's in there.
last episode, Jim was actually the one that gave us history, and Peter, I don't know if he's ever given us any worthwhile history.
Ask me a goddamn question and I'll give you some history.
All you can really do.
In the voice of JFK.
That's what I was gonna say. That's your one ability is to do it.
I do not know what you're talking about.
That's not even a good impression.
I say fuck you.
I
am the goddamn president.
Well, if this is your first time tuning into the Podworms Spacecast, you
Go
have
back and listen to the episode.
you have picked a great episode to start on. We got a lot coming up for you today. We're gonna play a fun new game that I like to call Mousse, Gel, or Hairspray.
Oh, that sounds good.
We're gonna do
Say moose knuckle or hairspray?
yes. We're gonna do a
Mousse gel sounds so different than hairspray. It's got to be very clear.
Mousse gel.
Mousse gel.
It's got a lot of holds.
How about if we say hairspray, gel, or mousse?
Hairspray gel?
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about the animal, the dessert, or
I think
the
Kevin has
hair
a
product?
comma problem tonight.
We're gonna resurrect a bit from Mike's Bit Minute.
Can we call it something else now that he's not
Yeah.
here?
No, we have to. It's called Mike's Bit Minute, and the drop says. Oh, actually, no. It doesn't say Mike's Bit Minute. It just says Bit Minute.
That's what it says?
Yeah.
Like that?
So we can call it whatever, I guess. Called Unpopular Opinion. And
Wonderful.
And then we're going to get into a few what would you rather do situations, a few would you rathers. So stay tuned.
I like what would you rather do instead of would you rather.
That's fine.
What would you rather do?
I like just would yous.
Would you? Would you?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We've had a bunch of different segments on the show, and it feels like if you have a segment, it has to have a name. And I'm not known for giving things the most, concise names, like the rating game.
Yeah.
what did I call that one? Like the power ranking.
you extended out like 4 or 5 words. We're like, okay.
Yeah. So, fans, how about you let me know what we should call these goddamn segments? But
Shit, that's what we
But before we get into that, Before we get into that, we got an inflatable pool. Okay. And
The one that I passed when walking in here?
this wasn't my
We're
idea.
sitting in it right now.
Yeah, we got the bubbles going. We got the jacuzzi.
I
jacuzzi
wish
jets.
we were in it.
Oh, man, that would be beautiful.
So hot in here.
It's warm. It's warm. We can't have the fan on because it would ruin the audio. And we're sitting here. It's a pretty warm day today. Nice summer day. But no windows, no air conditioning. Just kind of
We're in a box,
just sitting in the heat.
A heat box.
just sweating it out.
It comes straight to you from the Sweat Lodge Manor.
Now that's more like it.
Straight from Sweat Lodge Manor.
I don't like that at all. We're going to have to rebrand that.
No, I think we've got it. You're not a name guy.
Yeah, you're never going to be a copywriter.
We'll see
so.
if the fans approve.
That's fair. Fans, let me know. So this pool, this wasn't my idea. This pool has been nothing but a burden on my life since the day it entered my life. And the way we got it is that Emily loves free things.
Of course.
And a nice way to get free.
I mean, who doesn't like free things, though?
That's
Well,
fair.
if you're getting a free thing
she's
from
a
IKEA,
person who seeks them out, right?
Yes, she loves.
Okay.
Oh,
Like I think she gets sexual pleasure from finding free things on the
Oh.
internet. Yeah, and so
Do you ever just
free?
like Andrew? Do you ever just go on Craigslist and load up a bunch of tabs of free stuff and then just like to get her in the mood?
yeah, instead of oysters.
Instead of oysters,
free oysters.
no fancy dinner for her. Just a bunch of Craigslist free stuff.
but that's
Just go sit in a Mexican restaurant and never order anything. Just eat
chips.
the chips.
Chips and salsa.
And say, I've changed my mind.
and all the free water you can drink.
Yeah.
Bring out the pitcher. Just give me the pitcher at the table.
Oh my god!
Drink the whole thing. There's this thing online on Facebook called Buy Nothing. And they're pages
Yes.
that are localized by the area you live in, and it's basically a community page where if you have things to give away, it's kind of like the internet version of putting things on your lawn with a free sign on it.
Yeah.
Except shit doesn't get wet. You can just keep it in your house.
Yeah,
till
doesn't
it's
get
wet.
wet.
Doesn't get moldy
Depends
and
on-
ruined and
Right. And so you post something for free. People mention if they want it, and then you give it to them. So one of the things she found was this pool, an inflatable pool, and it's not exactly a child size, but not really an adult size either. And so if you're standing in it, it probably goes up to your. I don't mean to be
your unit.
I don't mean to be too descriptive.
the
but
tip of
your
your peni?
your saggy balls.
Oh, saggy
Wait, that's
balls.
tall.
Yeah.
Where is this thing?
It's sitting in a
You
pile
walked
outside my door
past
here.
it when you came in.
But it's that tall?
Yeah. I mean, to the underneath your balls. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like 2.5 feet of water.
that's a lot of cooling.
You can sit in it. You can sit
I
in
really
it.
wish we were in it.
Can we go fill it up right now?
But so she let me know one day. She said, "Hey, I just got this pool off Buy Nothing. They chose me to get it.
They
And so-
chose me.
They chose
Well, yeah, because you basically you're up against other people and they choose who they want to give it to, right? So
So it's just favoritism.
It's like a lottery.
It is a lot because you go there and you're like, I want this. I'm going to use it for this. And
the best story wins.
Yeah. So what'd she say about you that you needed it for your balls?
I think Emily said she was gonna house a bunch of displaced fish in it from the stream.
Oh, yeah,
she's
yeah. She's
making
into the
a-
fish.
she's making a
yeah.
like the
joke.
construction was forcing them out of their habitat, so she was going to
she
house
was trying
them.
to save
Really?
them.
It's an eco lodging.
Free Willy.
I have there was one time I just put on, I was moving and I had this huge whiteboard. It was probably like 10 feet by 5 feet.
Ooh.
And I just wanted to
That's a
get rid of
big
it.
whiteboard.
It was
That's a nice
I
whiteboard.
posted it for free, and this woman wrote to me with one of those stories and was like, "Me and my husband are writers, and we're going to use this thing, and we're going to write wonderful, brilliant stories with it." And I was like, "I don't care, just get here and take it."
Wrong guy.
And then she came with her teenage son, and they're like piling it into the back of their truck, and he's like, "You're probably gonna have to saw this in half to fit it in the portable." Which I'm like, I don't give a shit if it's out of my house. I don't care. But she acted like he had just betrayed her very core.
Oh my God.
Because she's like, "Oh, we would never saw this whiteboard. Like we're gonna it's gonna go to the best home ever." Like
Did you think you were going to be offended by the idea that they're going to saw in half?
She's like I'm gonna be like, "No, actually, you do not get my free whiteboard.
I'm taking it back.
No one must saw this whiteboard." That's saving me a trip from the dump.
So this pool is giving me nothing but grief since the moment I heard about it, because I went to go pick it up from the neighbor's house and I drove past and they had their van outside and the van was open. And so I thought somebody was like walking around out there and I didn't want to just like walk up and surprise them, but I saw the pool like in front of their garage. And so I was kind of calling Emily. I was walking back and forth debating whether to grab the pool and eventually kind of grab it. And I assume, no, they probably left it out there for us. That's fine. And I grab it and put it in my car. And then we come home and I give it to her and I say, okay, this is the last involvement I'm having with this pool. I don't want anything else to do with it anymore. This is your pool. I don't want to fill it up. I don't want to set it up. This is your pool. Okay. So a few more days pass and she finally gets a chance to set it up.
That felt like some foreshadowing to me.
Very much so.
There's some foreshadowing.
So she sets the pool up. This is on Father's Day because I went to go see my dad for Father's Day. So she had, we saw her dad the day before.
She set the pool up for you as a father of Stanley.
No.
As a Father's Day gift.
So she sets the pool up in my yard and it's her and Danny, my brother's girlfriend, and they were setting up the pool, and it apparently took them 5 hours to set up this pool, which all you have to do to set it up is to inflate the inflatable ring around the top of it and then fill it with water.
Yeah.
And they filled it up, and it was slanted, first of all. It looked like 100% dog shit. And I wasn't going to say that because this was 5 hours of effort, but it looked like shit. And on top of that, I see the filter that was next to it laying there, not hooked up to the pool. And I said, okay, well, you have the pool set up, but what about the filter? What are you going to do about that? You know, it's going to get dirty. What are you going to do about it? She's like, don't worry about it. All she wanted was the pool to be set up. And so I said, okay, whatever, that's fine. I'm in the office just on my computer, and she rushes in and she's just screaming at the top of her lungs. I thought Stanley had gotten out. I thought that someone was bleeding out in our yard. I run outside and the pool is like deflating and dropping water out the side. And so we kind of like, there's nothing for us to do except for just let it go because it's like too much water and too heavy and it's slanted. So the whole thing just floods out. It floods out of the whole thing. It floods the yard. It takes the bark and the wood chips and everything in my yard with it into the street, and the whole thing's flooded. And so that was kind of fucked. And so I said, okay, well, there you go. You know, how much money that was in the water bill. Let's just, cut our losses. The pool thing, it's done, good run, but it didn't work out. Okay, so she fills it up again.
Yeah, I was going to say that also felt like foreshadowing.
Fills it up again. And the pool is filled up. And number of times a human's been in this pool at this point, 0.
Question.
Yeah.
Did she fill it up in the same spot as last time?
Same exact spot. Same exact spot.
Did she put the filter in this time?
No filter. No filter. Same exact spot.
Did she determine where the hole was in this deflating pool?
It was because the ring wasn't inflated enough, and the ring is kind of all that holds the
top together.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it shouldn't deflate.
Something had happened that it wasn't filled up enough, or the slant was too great. That something happened where we weren't there when it started spilling. We just saw that it happened to be spilling. We couldn't save it at that point.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it just stop after a certain point?
Look, Kevin, the investigation results are not out yet.
Yeah.
It was just
The
gone.
investigation is ongoing.
We're looking into it. It's a pretty big problem.
I think the problem is I'm approaching this from a rational perspective.
Don't.
You know what? Try it again. Just do it again.
in the exact same spot.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Right back up.
And so it gets filled up again, and
Good.
the ring has to be inflated every few days because it kind of loses air over time. So we keep inflating it. We've got this pump. We're inflating it, and so days passed from the initial point of getting the pool to this day.
Has
It's
it been
probably
used?
3-4 weeks maybe. No use at this point, but it's been put up and sitting there.
3 weeks.
And there's just water sitting in it?
There's water sitting in it, and there's kind of a pool cover, but it doesn't really do a great job of staying on the pool because the ring doesn't stay inflated. It's on a slant.
Yes.
It's not really staying on there. It's not stiff enough to really hold it over the top of it. So there's kind of shit falling into the pool. It's right underneath a big tree. There's kind of stuff collecting.
my God.
And on top of that, we have this wasp infestation. And so we have
Like
these
white
wasps.
Anglo-Saxon Protestant people?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
just coming
They're
into
the
the yard.
worst. Playing
man.
badminton.
They set
Just
up a
put up a
croquet
no
game on the
soliciting
lawn.
sign.
Yeah, seriously.
So we get these wasps, these hornets, and Emily can't use the pool. They're because outside you're just like attacked by wasps, so the pool doesn't get used. So a week and a half later, the exterminator comes out, takes care of the wasps,
You had an
and
exterminator come for wasps?
yeah, they had a
Did
big.
you
there
pay
was
for
a
that, or
shitload.
did your landlord?
We set out these like $2 traps,
Yeah.
and one had 60 wasps.
Oh
in
my
it.
God.
Holy
It was like a
shit.
bag of wasps.
Did you have like
That's
nests?
$2 well spent.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. It was so satisfying because they're fuckers. But time passes, and now it's been maybe 5 or 6 weeks since the pool's been acquired, right? This is the very beginning of summer week. We get it. The pool hasn't been used. We take the cover off, take a look. But because the cover has also been filled with rainwater and other shit. We kind of take the cover off, but the water from on top of the rain, on top of the cover goes into the pool. So the pool's covered in wasps. It's covered in pollen. It's covered in dirt. It's covered in dead bugs. It's disgusting. This is where you turn on the filter. Oh, wait, there is no filter. And so what do? We drain the pool.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's used it.
We drain the pool. Times the pool has been filled up, 2. Number of times the pool has been used, 0. Number of dollars spent filling the pool, I don't know, 100. Who knows? I mean, it's a lot of water. And so right now, at the time of recording this, the pool is sitting in a heap in front of my house, and I hope that that's where it stays. I hope it actually moves to a garbage can. But this has been for free. This has been the most burdensome free item I've ever received in my life, and I would never recommend. I hope this never happens to anybody else.
Maybe you should, return the favor and put it up for the free list again.
Buy nothing.
And see who.
I'm now finding out why that happened in the first place.
Yeah. You shared a memory with that guy.
People are kind of funny on Buy Nothing because, like, if you go on any of the pages, the Buy Nothing pages in Seattle, like in some of the nicer neighborhoods, there's like people who will move in and then like ask for a list of stuff on Buy Nothing to like furnish their entire house, and you're like, you are a choosing beggar right now. Just go buy furniture. Like, why are you asking for all this stuff?
But the thing is, though, people look at that and they're like, oh yeah, I have that and I don't need it. Like people, like they didn't take the time to post it, but they actually respond to that. I was a part of Buy Nothing in my Seattle neighborhood, and I was like, I didn't know how to like turn off notifications from it, because apparently whenever I joined the group, it automatically made it so that anyone who posted, I got a notification for. So I saw it directly for like 9 months until I left the group.
Oh my gosh.
And actually I didn't leave the group. The group just split because our neighborhood became so active that they split it into 2 neighborhoods.
So that it would be
it would be more manageable.
Functional.
And so that whole time I saw every single thing that went up there. And in the most active part of it, looking at it every single day, there was still nothing I ever wanted. And I was like, oh, this is all stuff I would throw away too.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a part of it anymore.
Yeah, yeah, there's been like maybe a gem or 2, but the pool is not one of the gems.
I got direct messages from 2 of the women who were like, thanks for being a part of our old group. You should join our new one. And like, and then I got like and then when I didn't join, they would message me again. They're like, you can join this. Like, you're in this neighborhood. And I was just like,
they considered you one of the A team.
Did you ever?
You're part of the A team.
Yeah, you're part of the A team. Did you ever just tell them no?
I didn't reply.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I didn't want to get into it.
Yeah.
It said buy nothing, and I bought nothing.
As far as you're
You didn't
concerned,
even buy into the group.
You had to do it for the joke.
As far as I'm concerned, anyone who never mind. You don't pay for it. I was going to say I didn't buy anything.
We can
but
have those
nobody buys anything.
Sweet ads
Yeah.
paid for it.
There was a good setup there for something that doesn't exist.
I'm curious. This is just a slight tangent, but I feel like we've talked about telling restaurant workers that your order's wrong. We've talked about not interacting with people when you're not interested in something on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Do we not like saying no to people?
No, we don't say no.
No.
Is that like
Absolutely not.
Because I do it for my job. I call many people a day. I talk to at least 15 people I've never talked to in my entire life in a day across the country from me, and they have no problem telling me, "Yeah, no, take me off your list." Like, I don't even get to tell them what I'm calling about. I'll call people and they'll be like, hey, yeah, this is Peter calling from blah, 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 blah. How's your day going? Oh, yeah, hey, go ahead and take me off your list, just straight up. Mm. And I have started to do that to all the SDRs and all the telemarketers that are calling me. It's fascinatingly liberating. It's also really it feels so good. I suggest just say no to people.
I do say no to people,
just
but
do it.
There was no reason for me to reply to that lady.
Yeah, not at all.
Right, like I do say no to people.
Peter,
you're saying no to me right now.
Yeah, no.
You're making a step.
No, I do say no.
So, Peter, I have a similar situation right now where Puget Sound Blood Center keeps calling me because they want my blood.
Do you know if they want your blood, or are they telling you that you might have AIDS?
No, they want my blood. So
so
for the past 2 weeks, they call twice a day, and I know it's them because my phone will come up and it says PSBC, And
It says do not answer.
well, just it says PSBC and it's the same number every time. I'm like, okay. And they finally left a message today because I knew that this is 2 weeks ago was a year to the day that I donated last year. And I couldn't donate last year because I had been to Indonesia and there's malaria, but I didn't have malaria. But they're like, you can't donate for a year. So they knew exactly year on the day that we got to start calling this guy to get his blood. And what's disturbing is that they call me twice a day and I don't answer. Like I don't just hang up the phone. But they only left a message today. It's been like 2 weeks. And tomorrow I'm like, I should just get on the phone and say no, right? I'll donate when they come to the office.
Just get on the phone and go, hey, Bill. Oh, man, thanks so much for calling. I hope you're having a really good day. I know you've called me quite a few times. Go ahead and take me off your list.
Give them that whole long thing.
Yeah, no, give me value is time. And then the beautiful thing about it is when they when you tell them to take you off the list, it actually only is good for a year.
Because I mean, I kind of want
they will call you after a year.
I mean, I want to kind of jump into like a tirade of being like, look, last time you didn't take my blood, and I freely offered it to you, and now you want it. I freely offered you my blood, and
Just
now you're like
a spite call.
Yeah, exactly. Look, lady, look.
This blood's too good for you.
What if you just pick up and say, oh, hey, I'm a heroin user now?
That wouldn't be too far off the mark in this town.
Yeah, well, that will take you off the
welcome to
list.
Everett.
That'll take you off the list in a hurry.
I don't.
Just delete all
I
of my
never
information.
answer a number I don't recognize.
I do it all the time now, so I can do that.
I get these.
I'm such an asshole.
I get voicemails in Chinese now.
I got those at my office. They kept calling my office phone and leaving 6-second messages in Chinese, pre-recorded.
Yep, that's what I get too.
Did you ever try and Google Translate
You do the
it?
same thing?
Exact same thing. Yep. And I get them from different numbers because every time I get them, I block the number and it's a different number, new Chinese voicemail.
What are they trying to get out of us?
I don't know. I
Or
don't
real
know.
estate?
Maybe
Well,
it's just
yes.
maybe it's just a Chinese like IRS scam, and they're just hoping to get a Chinese person.
They're trying to get somebody who speaks Chinese.
They're just trolling. The Russians and the Chinese are just trolling America at this point.
Maybe they're getting like little recordings of my voice saying hello, and they'll like make a copy of me in China or something.
That's fine by me.
Make a gym charters in China.
Just somebody saying hello.
Jim Charter's hello soundboard.
They're taking my voice for like use in like a Chinese video game or something of an American.
That'd be amazing. I would love to play a video game that's made off of just wrong number phone calls.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I'm into it.
Do it, China. I'll play it.
So I got a
Got 4 fans already here.
I got a quick little game for us here. I know we do games at the end of the show typically, but this one's just real quick, and it's just for one of us. This is a challenge for one person in the room. So first off, who wants to take this challenge?
Jim does.
Jim.
Ooh.
Okay, Jim volunteers as
I raised
tribute.
my hand very, very excitedly.
You're
great.
in
Now this game is called
like Jim.
Gel. The game's called Gel, Mousse, or Hairspray.
Okay.
All right.
Gelmousse?
Yeah.
Gelmousse or Hairspray.
What's the first one?
Well, let me explain the game first, Peter.
Okay.
There's 8 questions, and we're going to answer them in rapid fire succession.
Okay.
And your only task, Jim,
Is to say one of those 3?
is to answer correctly which item I'm referring to.
Okay.
And should you answer all 8 correctly without getting any wrong, you're going to win a big, big prize.
So there's 2 options that you can do. There's Gelmousse and there's Hairspray.
Okay.
Actually, there's 3 options: gel, mousse, or hairspray. Do you understand, Jim?
Gelmousse or hairspray?
Yes. 8 questions. Jim, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. The stuff in your Dr. Scholl's insoles that keep your feet comfy.
Gel.
Yes. Water soluble and used by Kevin once he gets home after recording another successful podcast.
Mousse.
No, gel. Fuck. A derogatory term to describe a large, lumbering man.
Mousse.
Correct. A phrase used to describe 2 people who get along.
Gel.
Yes. A musical I've never seen before.
Hairspray.
Yes. A large animal with antlers.
Mousse.
Yes. Chocolate, vanilla, and many more. Light and fluffy.
Mousse.
Yes. A product used to keep your hair in place.
Hairspray.
No, mousse.
Fuck.
You lost.
This is like
Wait, a product to keep your hair in place?
That's hairspray.
this reminds me of when
That's a little trick question at the end. You were never going to win, Jim.
Jim. Do you remember?
None of us were ever going to win because it would have been hairspray.
It
We all would have said hair.
It would have been whatever you didn't say. Yep.
Jesus Christ.
That was like in Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, when they're giving the test to figure out if they're a replicant or not.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to explode.
or like in this, or even in the second
In the
one.
second one?
The second one where like he's gonna pull the computer back and be like, "You're way off baseline."
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's head almost exploded.
Jim is a rep. We now know that Jim is a replicant.
I think
Cells interlinked.
I'm just still confused.
About
What is Gelmousse?
yeah.
Andrew just gave him the dirtiest look ever.
I'm not confused at all. And I don't think our fans are either because you know what? They're pretty smart.
Yeah, we got smart friends. I don't. I'm tripping on words today.
No, you're doing great. I did some unique New York in the car.
Did you?
I did. Yep. That's why my, I'm enunciating so well.
Well, you weren't. Well, this is when I dropped you off at your car. You were just doing it alone. And
Yeah. Jim
Okay.
Jim and I carpooled from Seattle today. He picked me up at the convention center, and we had a nice father-son drive.
we really did.
Oh wow.
You know what's another good one besides Unique New York? Gelmousse, smell juice. Gelmousse, smell juice. Smell juice.
So you said good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh,
So let's move on to a bit from Mike's Bit Minute called Unpopular Opinion.
Okay.
So this was a segment where I'm going to bring an opinion that might not be so popular, and you guys can contest me here, but this is what I think. So
that sounds reasonable.
I am a big fan of Costco. That's not the unpopular opinion. That's very popular. All right?
It's a popular place.
Costco's a great place. I think that the Kirkland Signature stuff that they sell is actually better than the name brand counterpart.
Oh,
Like,
you got to give us some examples.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's
pants?
completely dependent on the product.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
what are you buying?
like if I'm looking at, let's just say toilet paper.
Okay.
If there's like the name brand, like what's a good name brand toilet paper they have there?
Charmin.
If there's Charmin versus Kirkland Signature, I'm gonna go with Kirkland Signature because even though I do value the comfort of my asshole, I trust Kirkland Signature to take care of it. And for the price difference, I'm good with it. I think it's just as good a quality and a lower price.
You know,
I'm sold.
I was raised in a household where we only had Kirkland Signature toilet paper, and I came out fine.
Right.
How
Yeah.
did your asshole come out?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I mean,
What's left of it? I think
Kevin has intimate experience with Jim's asshole.
What's left of it?
I just thought it was funny to make it sound like a bad product.
It's really
I
good.
think for toilet paper, I totally agree with the Kirkland Signature statement.
well, I think most things that are Kirkland Signature are like bulk items in general. So like water bottles. I think
have you
like
guys-
Arrowhead water tastes horrible. I think Kirkland water is
It's
fine.
great.
Yeah.
Here's where I would disagree on that opinion.
You don't like
Whiskey.
You've had the Kirkland Signature whiskey.
I've had their vodka.
The vodka's all right. Their beer is actually okay.
I haven't had their
You
beer.
haven't had the Kirkland Signature beer? They have like 6 flavors now. You can buy the whole like taster kit now. Or kit, what am I saying?
But their whiskey's
Case.
bad.
Not a fan.
What does it taste like?
Charcoal.
I don't know.
Oak barrels?
It's been a long time, so I really don't remember. I remember trying that, and I also remember trying Trader Joe's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How was the Trader Joe's?
Real bad.
Really? That's shocking.
That is
I
shocking.
prefer Kirkland Signature over Trader Joe's.
That's shocking because the Trader
Trader
Bros. The Trader Bros.
Is that's the site that Andrew bought porn
Yeah,
from?
that's right.
Correct?
Trader Bros.
Right.
Yeah, their wine is very good. Actually, I like it a lot.
Everything Trader Joe's is
Trader
good.
Joe's wine for sure. I have Scotch whiskey from Trader Joe's at my house that you are welcome to own. It's got like very little taken out of it, and I will never drink it.
How long ago did you buy this from them?
A year.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that name brands shouldn't just slap their brand on like a bad.
Well,
whiskey
you're
and
talking
sell
about
it.
like doing some distilling alcohol and doing it well is something that you want.
quite difficult.
Yeah, it's not like anybody can do it, right? QFC's not out there putting out their Kroger brand
Kroger whiskey?
Kroger whiskey. Target's
Right.
not doing it either. So
Right.
yeah, you get what you pay for in that respect. Oops.
But I want to know where they're buying it from because they're not making it themselves. They must be buying it from somebody else.
Interesting.
They're putting that label on there.
Who, Kirkland?
Yeah.
Kirkland might be
Costco.
making it themselves.
My understanding is that everything Kirkland does is an actual name brand product that they just label with their stuff.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because they don't have like a distribution.
No,
They've got a contract with some
they
producer
are the
that's-
distribution. They're not.
Interesting.
Like the one that
producing
people always say is that their vodka is Grey Goose. That's what people always say.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true,
Is
but
it
I've heard
Grey Goose,
enough.
Kevin?
I've heard enough to
I have
believe
no
it.
idea.
Have you ever done a taste test to compare
No.
Grey Goose and the?
Next episode.
Because Grey Goose isn't even my favorite vodka to be like at all.
No.
It's just all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is whipped cream. Was it Pinnacle vodka?
What brand is their toilet paper then? Maybe it is Charmin.
Oh, maybe it's a Charmin, yeah.
I don't know.
Do you
I
think?
don't know.
Well, I mean, is there like a larger company that owns like all the toilet paper brands and they just put them out?
You're
under
talking
different
about
names?
big toilet paper,
big
Jim.
toilet paper.
I don't know. Let's ask
That
Alex
sounds extra
Jones.
comfy.
Somebody tweet Alex Jones and ask him about big toilet paper.
I'm sure he has some opinions.
Him, that and chemtrails. Somebody's got to own those.
Somebody does.
It's probably Obama.
I'll buy them.
God damn it.
So this week, for some reason, I was getting nostalgic about the games I used to play as a kid because there was the like all the learning games, like the math games. You remember like Mario Teaches Typing? Did you guys play that one?
Nope.
I remember Mavis Beacon teaches typing.
Mavis Beacon.
Yep. How about the
Math Blaster.
Math Blaster?
Blaster.
Was that the one with the little monsters that you like
Yes.
crunch? But there was the one with like the guy who had the like the hat that went over his eyes, and he went on like these adventures in like underwater, and he was on like a mountain, all this kind of stuff.
Aquaman?
No, I can't remember what they're
Hat
called.
over his eyes.
Some people are going to recognize what I'm talking
Okay.
about, but there is one game that I remember playing as a kid where it taught you about safety and things not to do, basically. So the premise was that this was an alien, a green alien, but it wasn't like a stereotypical green alien with like the weird almond shaped eyes and everything. It was like it looked more like a fat Yoshi, pretty much.
a
And
non-threatening alien.
yeah,
a
yeah,
good
very
DJ
like just
name, Fat
kind
Yoshi.
of cuddly.
It's not bad.
And it wasn't 2D. This was, I think, the late 90s, but it was more, it was like 3D, and it taught you the dangers in the world and how to avoid them. So you basically followed a day.
this explains a
Where did you
lot.
play this at? Was this like a school game?
Is this at home?
No, this was at home, yeah. So
This explains so
much about Andrew
So
Leclerc.
much about Andrew
And so
Leclerc.
Shame.
you follow,
Like there's like an IKEA that it won't walk into.
That's dangerous, kids. Don't go into IKEA.
There's like a squeaky shoe level where you have to like trade them out real fast.
if you have a squeaky shoe, people like throw you out and beat you up and.
You'd lose a life.
But basically, you follow this alien on his like day in Earth or on Earth, and it's like he's brushing his teeth, and there's an electrical socket, and if you click on the socket, he gets electrocuted, and they're like, "Nah, don't
This
do
would
that."
give a child so much anxiety.
Yeah.
But there's a narrator, and he tells you like, "Oh, good choice," and the guy's name, the character's name is Max, and so it's like, "Oh, good job, Max. This is a good decision." And then like there'd be a van. And it's like at the park, and there's a van. He's trying to, get lured into the van. And I'm assuming if you click on the van, he goes for a ride.
You didn't click on the van.
I couldn't bring myself to do it because I needed the praise of the
This would
narrator.
give so much. Kid has so much anxiety.
But I remember this game very distinctly. And usually when you want to look up a game, like a childhood nostalgic game, you just look it up and there's a million people talking about it, YouTube videos.
Right.
I couldn't find anything. I was convinced this game did not exist. And this was like some
you
fever
just
dream.
made this
Some
up.
fever dream. But I have a witness, my brother. And so I messaged him and I asked, Daniel, do you remember this game? The green alien named Max. Yes, the safety, the light socket, this
Right.
and that. Don't shave, don't touch your dad's shaver and all that. And so we're looking.
Touch your dad's shaver.
Don't cut yourself.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Don't shave your dad's genitals. Yeah.
Right.
Totally got it.
But we both remember it, but we can't find anything about it on the internet, which is very weird
That's
because
bizarre.
you
Yeah.
can find just about anything on the internet. I mean,
Was it
anything.
for PC?
Yeah. But we couldn't find it, and it was driving me crazy. Like first it was a joke, like haha, this is driving me crazy, and then it turned into this is actually driving me crazy because it's like it doesn't exist. And so I found a database online that has
Yeah.
it's a database of every game ever created. You could look by genre, by year, and
Wow.
And you're halfway through A.
and I still couldn't find
2,500
it.
games
I
in
looked
A.
up the name Max. It wasn't showing up. I looked up everything, and I'm now being convinced that maybe his name wasn't Max. Maybe it was.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember. And so I found a subreddit called Tip of My Joystick instead of like Tip of
Yeah.
My Tongue.
Yeah.
And you can post descriptions of games, and people will identify it for you. And so I posted this, and then a few days went by, and there was nothing. No one's posting, and I'm 100% convinced no one's ever going to figure out what this
Right.
game is. And then I messaged Daniel. I said, just kind of jokingly, I'm like, all right, what's the update? Anybody posting? And he said, holy shit, someone found it. And someone found the game. The game's called Max Comes to Earth. And it's a 1997 game. And there's one available on Amazon.
Just one?
It may be the sole copy left on this earth.
Oh my God.
For $30.
Oh my God.
Some 1997 shitty game. But it's so, it's satisfying that we found out that exists. But it was not satisfying because I wanted to see some gameplay. I wanted to relive it. But there's no videos. Even knowing the name, I can't find it online. So I'm really debating whether or not I want to spend $30.
I'll give you the $30 to buy it right now.
You have to make a Let's Play also.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
on the internet.
if I buy this, me and Daniel have to sit down and play through it together.
Yeah.
So I'm really considering it, but that made me think that that game taught me how to make good decisions. Obviously,
or be really, really, really anxious all the time.
We have to get that. We have to do a podcast where we play through it.
Oh yeah, we do.
The podcast will buy it.
Okay. All right. There you have it. We're gonna buy Max Comes to Earth, and we're gonna play through the game, and
this won't be like every other one of our promises.
this one's gonna happen.
We're like Dad going to the corner store to get a carton of milk and some cigarettes.
And we'll be right back.
We're gonna come back.
But that game taught me how to make good decisions, and so that made me think, well, let's see if we still have good decision-making skills. And so I have a few would you rather questions here, and I'm curious to see where we fall here. And let's see if we're going to make some good decisions.
What about what would you rather do?
Yeah, what would you rather do?
What would you rather do?
That's a better name. There we go.
All right, so first question here. Would you rather always be 10 minutes late or always be 20 minutes early? So this premise is that this is in every single appointment you have, engagement you have, you're always going to be 10 minutes late or 20 minutes early.
20 minutes early, easy.
Why?
Because if you have an appointment for something, you can't walk in there and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm always 10 minutes late to everything. Let's do this appointment. They're going to have moved on from you.
Eventually they would get used to it.
No, you'd be in a much better position to be early to things. Then you can sit down, prepare for stuff. If they end up being ahead of schedule, you can get in there and then get to your next thing 30 minutes early.
Yeah, but I think that, I think I agree. I think I'd rather be early, but I think about being early is the most awkward time to arrive at anything because people are still setting up.
Well, you don't go in.
Yeah, you
just hang out in your car or something?
Yeah.
Download a phone game.
That's
download Max Comes to Earth.
So we think that the workaround here is that you arrive early, but you actually don't engage until it's on time.
What?
Absolutely.
Do you get places early and you just walk in because you're like, hey,
That's why it's awkward for you. Well, that's what the game taught him to do that.
Yeah, it taught him to always
Don't
be
sit
early.
in your hot car, you'll die.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let your dog out of your hot car.
Don't chase the beach ball into traffic. That's another one of the
there's something just refreshing about getting somewhere early and just walking around the block.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just spend a moment with yourself.
That's true.
Don't pleasure yourself.
I can sympathize with Andrew because there's nothing worse than getting somewhere early and not knowing what to do with yourself. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm too early and I can't
do I drink the punch? Do I pet the dog?
Yep. Yeah.
Do I eat a
hate
chip?
it.
Oh, see, I just never go in.
Do you stick your finger in the light socket? You'll never know.
You don't do that. I know that much.
What was a kid doing with a beach ball next to traffic?
It happened. He was at the park. All right, hear about this one.
Beach ball at the park?
Would you rather be famous when you are alive and forgotten when you are dead, or would you rather be famous when you're dead but forgotten when you're alive? Sorry, I had to reverse that one. I didn't write it all the way down.
Oh, famous when you're alive.
So famous when you're alive, forgotten when you're dead, or forgotten when you're alive, famous after you're dead, like a famous artist or something.
Currently, as a famous person on a famous podcast, I'd rather continue to be famous.
How long does your fame last after death?
I think it's as long as the most
As long
famous,
as
Like
Shakespeare?
yeah,
Like Jesus.
yeah, like Shakespeare, Einstein,
Definitely after death then.
after death.
Because you don't want to deal with fame while you're alive.
But what if you leverage
tough.
it to get free shit?
It's the only time to enjoy it.
See,
But nobody really enjoys fame. They enjoy success.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I don't know. Access, I think, seems awesome.
Yeah.
Just like being invited to Drake's house party.
It's all that Kevin's ever wanted is to be invited to Drake's house party.
You know what? If we wanted to boil it down to that, I'd be okay with it.
Going to Drake's house party when you're alive, going to Drake's house party when you're dead. Which one?
alive.
Definitely
eternity.
as a ghost, for sure.
That'd be pretty tight too.
Yeah, it'd be tight.
That'd be good.
Okay. And would you rather have a horrible job but be able to retire after 10 years, or have your dream job and work until the day you die?
Well, that really depends on what your dream
definitely
job is.
dream job, because you would live longer, number one, because you'd be working the whole time and you would enjoy it.
If your dream job
Statistically
came
true.
with like 80 days of vacation every year, then you're going to take that.
Well, here's my question. Do you think your dream job is like, I feel like your dream job is still not that great. It's still a job. Like, even if it's the best job you can have, I think it's probably not as good as being retired for 40 years.
Dream bigger, Andrew.
Yeah, better dream bigger.
That actually is maybe not a bad point.
Because, like, for example, my dream job would be to just be making films all the time.
and you'd want to do that forever.
And you would never stop enjoying
I
it.
would never. Get over
There are
that. No.
people that like. There are people that do. There's a guy that lives in the Seattle area, and he would film, I think, like either surfing films or like mountain climbing films. He's in his 80s and he's still doing it. Like, it's the thing that he's always loved to do. Never do you hear about a person who's like, they actually found their dream job and they're like, yeah, but I decided to stop doing it.
But is that like a hobby?
No,
He
it's not.
made like his life's work. It was like making these. I can't remember if they're surfing films or like they're kind of extreme sports films.
It's skiing movies, and
Yeah.
they're all what is this dude's name?
I
I
guess-
remember his name.
The reason I'm asking is because I feel like if it's a job, you still have to have the, like deadlines and people.
But you can become your own, like the CEO of my company, right? When he was growing up, he realized, like, I want to start a company at some point. And yeah, there's the stress of like managing a company, but he talks about how like he loves the challenge.
It's-
This is what he wanted to do.
It's Warren Miller, and Warren Miller basically started as he was a ski bum. He started making movies, and that's what he did the rest of his life.
He's his own boss.
Yeah, and he's like in his mid 80s, he's still trucking.
Have you ever had a job? Like, have you ever? What would you want to do?
Like as a dream job?
Yeah, besides this podcast, obviously.
Besides his podcast.
I feel like something similar to this, maybe something in like entertainment.
Oh, radio. Okay.
Like maybe, I don't know, radio or communication or something like interacting with people, but not in a, like I think PR kind of stuff could be fun, like being like a community guy for a company, like a fun company, like a video game company, but not dealing with the bullshit, right? Like just being the guy who gets all the accolades, basically, but just gets to communicate with people, yuck it up with the fans, have a good time.
So I was watching
community
the
manager.
Yeah, kind of.
I was watching the PUBG Invitational today on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I was wondering where the heck they get all those announcers. What are they doing before they're announcers for like
Former
esports?
players.
I can't.
Former
They're
players.
not former players. They play the games because they have to have at least a little bit of knowledge of what's going on. But I don't know where they come from.
They had a communications degree from Syracuse University, which is where every communications person goes. And then they couldn't get hack it at ESPN, so they're doing esports now.
I think you're right about they couldn't hack at ESPN.
They're probably personalities of some sort. Like
Really?
Probably. Like
Twitter?
they have a YouTube or Twitch or something. They probably have some sort, like, Twitter following. I think that's how a lot of people these days get those kind of gigs, is that they have a bunch of Twitter followers and post funny stuff. And
Maybe that's why you have so many, is to try and get a larger crowd watching.
You can
Probably,
send
yes.
it, like you can, for at least I know this for sports, you can just send in audition tapes. Like you can re-record a game that's already been played.
Really?
And you can just do the commentary yourself. And you can send it in, and I mean, it might get you like a minor league, like baseball job or something like that, because they're always looking for people to do shit.
Yeah, they are.
So there you go, Andrew. Do that. Become the voice of the Everett Aqua Sox.
We'll do that on the next pod.
Yeah.
wait,
This is a promise we will
We'll
keep.
is live our dream job?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna commentate a minor league baseball game.
We're all going to go to an Everett Aqua Sox game.
Yeah.
We're going to be all
commentate the shit out of
belligerent.
that.
We're going to
Yeah.
be belligerent, and we're commentating the whole thing. We'll get kicked
This
out.
thing is battery powered, so we could easily.
Oh, baby.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
This is good. This is a good idea.
If we're just sitting in the stands with our microphones.
That would be so awesome.
You know, it wouldn't be that.
would be
we
so-
wouldn't be that noticeable because those
No.
games are actually full.
It would be
all the
it would be
time.
noticeable because baseball games are quiet. Everyone would hear us.
I think what I want to do is take the show to the fair this summer.
Oh, that's a
The Puyallup or the
good
Monroe?
idea.
Which one?
The Podworms go to the fair. Yeah, the Washington State. Or no, it's called the
Evergreen
what's it called?
State Fair?
No, I
In
guess
Monroe?
because it's not called the Puyallup Fair anymore. It's called
Washington State Fair.
Yeah, the Washington State Fair. Yeah,
The big show.
the big one.
Oh, not the minor
We
leagues.
should do that.
We go down. We do some food testing. We do a real, a live fair
Ride the roller
food.
coaster.
Yeah.
we watch the rodeo, demolition derby,
Watch
Yeah,
somebody get
sheep
decapitated.
riders, ram riders. What are they
the
called?
pig races.
Yeah.
We could rent some like wireless stuff,
yes.
so that we just have
Yes.
lapel mics.
and then just get rigs set up so that it's like not even
This
awkward.
is a promise we will keep.
We will keep
this promise.
You heard it from JFK. This is happening this summer. Podworms at the fair. So
we
get
choose
ready.
to go to the fair.
Not because it is easy, but because it is hard.
If you wanna join us at the fair or give us your free shit, like an inflatable pool, hit us up on our Facebook page, Podworms Spacecast, or our Instagram page, Podworms Spacecast. You can tweet us at PW Spacecast, and please tweet. We need it. Jim needs it. Jim.
Just looking for those tweets, man. I'm just hanging.
tweets
I'm scrolling through our Podworms feed every day, just looking for a tweet.
He's gaunt. He's depressed. He's not eating.
I'm not eating. I'm not
He's
sleeping.
a really little historian right now.
Yeah,
shrunk.
we need to get him back up to his full form. If you want to send us an email, pwspacecast@gmail.com is the place to be. And if you like the show, share it with those people who you love and the people that you don't love as well. Because you know what? We don't discriminate.
Yeah, share it with somebody you hate.
Something new we've been doing too is if you want to send us a fax, we're capable of that now.
Yeah, we'll give you the fax line in the episode description. It's open. Is there anything else to say? I think we've said all there is to say.
I think there's only one thing to say.
And that is to keep squirming.
Bill Clinton, how are you doing? Hey, Barack, how's it going? I was just checking out the White House interns. They're looking really, really good this year. Hey, you heard about this podcast Spaceworms thing? It's really, really good. You might want to check it out. I think your family will enjoy it. I know I do.